Welcome. Before we begin, we ask that you please turn off your cell phones and electronic devices. Please remain seated while the class of 2026 enters the auditorium. Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Putman, and I am the Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our 27th annual White Coat Ceremony. That's right. Our ceremony today is proudly sponsored by the College of Medicine, and we want to especially thank the Alumni Association of the College of Medicine, and especially Dr. James Ferguson from the class of 1981 and his wife, Mrs. Irene Ferguson, for their generous donation in support of this important event and for purchasing the first white coats for the class of 2026. We would also like to thank the Arnold P. Gold Foundation for providing the Humanism in Medicine pin for each of the members of the class. The White Coat Ceremony is a relatively recent innovation. Dr. Arnold Gold, a neurologist on the faculty of Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons, started the White Coat Ceremony tradition back in 1994. Dr. Gold thought that an appropriate oath, which represents the humanism of medicine, should be taken at the beginning of medical school as well as at commencement. The White Coat Ceremony serves to welcome students to the practice of healthcare and elevate the value of humanism as the core of healthcare. It provides a powerful emphasis on compassion in combination with scientific excellence. Dr. Gold was concerned that physicians were becoming more enamored with the technological aspects of medicine rather than listening to and caring for patients. The most important element of the ceremony is the oath that students take in front of family members, school leadership, and their peers, and with their faculty, to acknowledge their central obligation of caring for the patient. In 1995, the Gold Foundation expanded their sponsorship of the White Coat Ceremony to 7 additional medical schools, including SUNY Downstate's College of Medicine, and we have held this ceremony ever since. The Gold Foundation reports that the White Coat Ceremony takes place at over 99% of schools of medicine in the United States and Canada, as well as at osteopathic schools of medicine and at medical schools in over 19 other countries. We are also proud that Downstate has been a trailblazer and helped begin a new tradition by expanding the White Coat Ceremony to our College of Nursing, our physician assistant, and physical therapy programs. We are grateful and honored to have been one of the earliest institutions to partner with the Gold Foundation. And as an example of our dedication to the mission of keeping healthcare human, our next speaker, our own president, Dr. Wayne J. Riley, is a trustee of the Gold Foundation. So now, without further ado, to bring greetings to the class of 2026 and our guests, I would like to introduce our next speaker, the 17th president of the State University of New York, Downstate Health Sciences University, Dr. Wayne J. Riley.
Good morning, class of 2026. What a great day in your career. I want to especially welcome your parents, your spouses, partners, significant others, children, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and all who have been at your side and supported you on your journey to this day to matriculate in the College of Medicine at the State University of New York, Downstate Health Sciences University, and to be a party to the greatness of the profession of medicine, which you have willingly chosen to pursue to help other human beings. Class of 2026, congratulations. My colleagues have heard me say this probably ad nauseum, but there are probably 4 days in the life of a physician you never forget. The day you got that email saying, congratulations, you've been accepted to Downstate. Today, when you officially get the white coat, the symbol of the healing profession worldwide. The next will be your graduation. And the fourth will be the first day of internship. I'll tell you a funny story about my first day internship, but I'd never forget those 4 days, but particularly the first day of internship. I was in Houston, Texas at Baylor College of Medicine. I was on the, the 12 to midnight shift in the emergency room. My knees were knocking. My sweat glands were working overtime. I walked into the emergency room. It was chaos, midday in Houston, Texas, chaos in the emergency room. And I heard the nurse saying, "Doctor, get over here." And I did this. And she said, "You, Riley." So there are lots of humorous stories about our journey, but that one I never forget. But again, the white coat is something very powerful in our profession. You know, you feel differently about yourself when you put this thing on. It reminds you of what you are to do in terms of patient care and service to your community, your colleagues, and the world, I would argue. So this is special, so I want you to cherish it, class of 2026. There's going to be many other things to cherish along the way here in medical school, but this one's very special, and it's made special because of your loved ones who are here with you, and a distinguished alumnus who has come from Manhattan to share with you his thoughts about the white coat and the white coat ceremony. So on behalf of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, where I am privileged to serve as secretary and member of the board, our terrific faculty here at Downstate, on behalf of the SUNY system and our chancellor, congratulations, and again, welcome to Downstate.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. F. Charles Brunicardi, Senior Vice President and Dean of the College of Medicine.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the white coat ceremony. I'd like to welcome the members of the class of 2026, your family, significant others, or friends, and Downstate administration, faculty, and staff to our 27th white coat ceremony. You are entering our College of Medicine at a time of great stress as our nation and indeed the world continues to be impacted by the pandemic, greatest disaster of our lifetime, which struck us all over 2.5 years ago. The world has dramatically changed, and the profession that you are starting on now, healthcare, is at the heart of this new landscape. Most importantly, you can look forward to an era of extraordinary and exciting medical discoveries and technological advances. There have been more scientific technological advances in the past 50 years than in the entire history of the world. These advances will greatly enhance your ability to alleviate human suffering, but at the same time, you can expect to encounter a host of new medical and ethical dilemmas like the pandemic. Our faculty will do their very best to prepare you to meet those challenges We have a long tradition of training physicians who are skilled in treating not just the diseases of the body, but also the humanity of the person. And for this reason, we celebrate the start of your medical education and career by giving each one of you a white coat, one of the symbols of a physician's compassionate care. It is a profound truism that the best patient care is caring about the patient. So the white coat is also a way for us to welcome you as junior members of our profession. So congratulations. I am so excited to introduce our speaker today. So while vision is the key to leadership, so right now for the students, your vision is to get your MD degree. But I want to challenge you and start thinking about what disease you want to treat and how you will cure it. And so there's no greater example of that than our speaker today is Dr. John Andrew Bookvar, who graduated SUNY Downstate in the class of 1997. And then you're about to hear his speech about where he's at right now, just amazing. Dr. Bookvar currently serves as the Vice Chair of the Department of Neurosurgery at Lenox Hill Hospital and the Director of the department's Brain Tumor Center, the Pituitary Neuroendocrine Center, and the New York Head and Neck Institute at Lenox Hill, and Manhattan Eye, Ear, and Throat Hospitals. Whoa. Dr. Bookvar is a professor of neurological surgery and otolaryngology head and neck surgery at the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra Northwell. He's also an investigator at the Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research, where he directs the laboratory for brain tumor biology and therapy. So he's a surgeon scientist. Most recently, Dr. Bookvar was appointed as a visiting professor at the legendary Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, making great advancements in understanding and treating brain cancer. Now, Dr. Bookvar is internationally known for his surgical expertise and for providing patients with safe, effective, and minimally invasive care for brain tumors, skull-based disorders, and disorders of the spine. His surgical expertise is in benign and malignant brain tumors, skull base and endo-pituitary surgery, spinal and peripheral nerve tumors, minimally invasive spinal surgery, and complex spinal disorders. Once again, what an incredible accomplishment. Dr. Bookvar has been recognized for his novel research in brain tumors and stem cell biology. So perhaps that was his vision in med school, to concentrate on that disease and develop new therapies. He's been named to multiple Best Doctor lists. His research has been widely published, and he's received numerous national awards, including the Eric Lichtenstein Humanitarian Award from Voices Against Brain Cancer for his compassionate work in treating patients with brain cancer. In 2016, Dr. Bookvar was elected to the prestigious Academy of Neurological Surgeons, and the following year was elected to the Senior Society of the American Board of Neurologic Surgery. So we congratulate you, Dr. Bookvar, on your outstanding achievements and believe that your stellar career and words of advice will inspire our students and audience today, especially the class of 2026. Dr. Bookvar.
I want to thank all of you, particularly Dr. Riley, Dr. Bunicardi, and Vice President Putman, Dean Christopher. Just thank you for this incredible opportunity to speak to you guys today. It really, I'll probably end up getting emotional at some point during this address, because it's just an incredibly important moment for me to look out in a seat that I was in 25 years ago. I graduated Downstate in 1997. That's a year before Robert Furchtgott got his Nobel Prize in medicine from Downstate for his work in nitric oxide. I also never had a white coat ceremony. That happened a year after I started also. My family has been in Brooklyn for really over a century now, and I want to tell you a little bit about why that's important to me and why I think that's important to you. It was 1903, my great-grandfather, John Bailey, took his medical degree and actually came to Brooklyn to become an ophthalmologist. My grandfather, Eddie Saskin, worked as an ophthalmologist after graduating Long Island College Hospital, later Downstate, in 1937, and worked at the now non-existent Brooklyn Eye and Ear Infirmary. We'll get that back going soon. And then my father, Billy Bookvar, my late father, graduated here in 1967 and also became an ophthalmic surgeon where I grew up in the South Shore of Long Island. And 25 years ago, I sat where you're sitting, not with a white coat yet, but and I took my degree from Downstate. And so to look out here and see all of you and to have this reconnection with my family is important. And let me tell you why I think history and medicine is important. I'm going to read a quote from Bill Roth. "Only the person who is familiar with the art and science of the past is competent to aid in the progress in the future." My entire career has been predicated on understanding the history of medicine in glioblastoma, for example. So I have studied the mistakes and failures of my predecessors in order to better understand the successes that are possible. So unfortunately, if you have an idea, it's probably been thought of before. But my advice to you is to understand the failures and some of the successes and make those successes your own moving forward. Many of you know that burnout is a significant problem in medicine. In fact, if you look at neurosurgeons, 69% of non-academic neurosurgeons report some burnout, and 49% of academic neurosurgeons report burnout. In actuality, people who go into academic medicine, this is not a pitch, but it's true, tend to have less burnout than those who go into community practice. And that is an indication that we all need that inspiration. We need the diversity in our lives. It's research, education, and clinical practice. So recognize that burnout is out there, and I'm going to teach you some things now that I think will help you address that future burnout. I invented a terrible term called grit flowness, okay? And I invented that term for myself, grit flowness, to remind myself of 3 stress-reducing principles that I live by. The first one is grit. Now, all of us have grit, or we would not be in this room today. But grit, and there's a great book by Angela Duckworth, which I'm recommending to you. Grit is a deliberate practice, and you are getting a white coat right now, and my first advice to you is take that white coat and be ready to practice. We toured a beautiful learning virtual augmented reality and hands-on center today that is just built for this class and for future classes. Get ready to practice deliberate practice. And deliberate practice is our way of becoming peak performers. So you can go out on a tennis court every Saturday with your friends and just play a doubles match, and we call that arrested development. But if you go out and practice your serve over and over again with a mentor and get feedback, that's how you achieve peak performance. So look around. Get a mentor. Look at your friends for mentorship. Look at your parents and siblings for mentorship. And most importantly, look at the terrific faculty that help mentor me, and I help mentor Downstate students now. And that deliberate practice and feedback is going to allow you to achieve peak performance. That's what grit is about. It's a constant feedback. The next part of that silly term is something called the flow state. Now, I'm focused on the flow state as a surgeon because in surgery you want to be in constant flow, but this relates to being a parent, a poet, a pianist, and a surgeon. The flow state, what happens to your brain in the flow state is you quiet a portion of the brain called the DMN, the default mode network. Well, all of us, when we're scrolling through TikTok, which I do, and I know you do, you are activating your DMN. The DMN is when we're ruminating and catastrophizing. I want you to get in the habit of quieting your DMN. So next time you're on TikTok, I know you're going to be thinking about me, and you're going to say, Dr. Bookvar wants you to quiet my DMN. The default mode network is a way is really a problem because it's leading to huge amounts of anxiety, depression, and guess what? Burnout. So the flow state is the state of inner harmony where we quiet our DMN. And how do you get to the flow state? I'm sure you've all heard of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan used to talk about the flow state when he dropped 63 points in a quarter versus my 93 Knicks at the Garden. He was in flow. And how did he get to flow? How does Steph Curry get to flow? Well, he had a mentor in his father, Del Curry, and he used his deliberate practice, and that's how you get into flow. And flow is an important concept to understand early. You all need to get there. You need to develop the deliberate practice to get into the flow state. The last and most important is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a stress reduction technique that I'm sure there's some introduction to as medical students. You will be under an enormous amount of stress, and mindfulness is a way for your brain to adapt to that. Mindfulness is easy. It's actively turning to your breathing and calming a portion of your brain called your amygdala. So each one of you needs to find time in your day to practice mindfulness. It can be for 2 minutes. I do it on a 6-minute subway ride from Harlem to 77th Street. It's probably the most distracting time of the day. That's how I practice mindfulness. So there's my concept of grit flowness, which will help you with stress reduction as you enter medical school. One last portion of mindfulness I just want to bring up is something called beginner's mind. I'm going to read you a quote by Jose Manuel Barroso, who said, "What people call serendipity sometimes is just having your eyes open." What are two of the most serendipitous discoveries in medicine? Penicillin and cisplatin, which is a common chemotherapy. Both were by accidents, and they were simply by people who had their eyes open. My favorite quote for my children as a parent is "Chance favors the prepared mind" by Louis Pasteur. Chance favors the prepared mind. So luck will come your way if you keep your eyes open and prepare. I'm going to say that again. Serendipity will come your way, maybe even a discovery of nitric oxide or something like that. So keep your eyes open and be prepared. So I've mentioned the tradition in medicine, I've mentioned grit, I've mentioned flow, I've mentioned mindfulness. Now I want to talk to you about compassion and empathy. Voltaire said, "The art of medicine is amusing the patient while nature cures the disease." And I think this is a very important quote that's underappreciated. You may have heard about the 3 A's of a physician: availability, affability, and ability. Those are the 3 A's of a physician: availability, affability, and ability. And contrary to what you may think, in my opinion, the most important A is availability. Make yourself available to a patient, because likely you will contribute to the cure of their disease, but you're going to be holding their hand and helping nature cure their disease as well, like Voltaire said. So one of the things that's made me successful, and I learned this from my father and ancestors, is they were revered because they were available to their patients. And particularly in this day and age, our patients are feeling more and more abandoned and alone. So make yourself available to your patients. So look around the room. Your family and your friends are here and have helped you to achieve one of the greatest moments and accomplishments you can possibly have in life. I've been blessed with an incredible family, an incredible wife. I have 4 beautiful children, and a work environment that has provided me with fertile soil to have a very productive career. Admiral William McRaven said, "If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle." Everybody in this room is in your boat, okay? If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. And remember, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. That's a famous Buddha line. So go out there, think, become, feel, attract, imagine, and create, and you're going to be all extremely successful. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you.
Our next part of the ceremony is actually to present the class with their white coats formally. So, I would like to call on the following members of the faculty. Will the following faculty members please come forward and take your places? Sophie Christoforou, Associate Dean for Student and Curricular Affairs, assisted by Dr. Riccardo Bianchi, Associate Dean for Foundations of Medicine, will read the names of the members of the class of 2026. Dr. Seth Langley, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Christina Pardo, Vice Chair, Quality and Innovation and Assistant Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Christopher Roman, Interim Chair and Associate Professor of Cell Biology, and Dr. Raj Wagankar, Associate Professor of Medicine and Cell Biology, will assist with directing students to the stage to obtain their white coats. And your white coaters for today are Dr. Carla Booten Foster, Associate Dean for Diversity, Education, and Research, and Dr. Stephen Wadowski, Chair and Professor, Department of Pediatrics. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the class of 2026.
When your name is called, please come up to receive your white coat. Emily Acker. Carolina Ahn. Hamza Alaham. Doug Alvarez. Joshua Applebaum. Amy Arias. Peace Asumadu. Ivana Ray Baldi. Cyrus Bezadi. Lindsay Blank. Emma Bowden. Mina Boutros. Philip Brannigan. Sean Carroll. Gabriel Casorla. Nada Celestin. Gabriela Sendejas. Duvra Chabra. Anthony Chillo. Jonathan Colarusso. Dylan Davey. Catherine Dishner. Niku Faramanpour. Alejandro Friedman. Lung Fu. Ingrid Gandra. Anna Gao. Shimon Garrell. Eric Gavrilov. Rachel Gerber. Mark Gurgis. Catherine Kayla Jade Glazer. Joshua Harunian. Wen Huang. Maduve Jerry. Stella Johnson Vivas. John Kaba. Johan Daniel Kamyab. Catherine Kerr. Andrew Kahn. Justin Kong. Ezekiel Kopelak. Lennox Xito. Alexander Kucherina. Thaif Lasker. Maria Lee. Monique Leinen. Roy Lee. Thomas Lynn. Jonathan Lum. Kwok Kui Lee. Paul Mastrocostas. Colin Matthew. Jake McDermott. Stephen McClinchy. Stephen Medvedovsky. David Mushayev. Adam Nakvi. Elsa Nato. Moise Navid. Umaima Nawaz. Chelsea Okoli. Olivia Paluzek. Okay. Alexander Pan. Michael Philbin. Zoe Pierce Dickens. Emma Rhodes. Lynn Richardson. Caterina Rivera. Yusuf Saleh. Cassandra Salib. Thomas Sanford. Shawnee Seabag. Woo. Choti Sherpa. Raj Singh. Tanvir Singh. Molly Smith. Brianna Somoza. Karina Surya. Mark Spivak. Allison Squilante. Kiara Stanifor. Leah Strauss. Varsha Talanki. Sherry Tan. Vincent Tem. Raf Yusab. Shivansuryan Vamidi. Daniel Wool. Vanessa Wang. Michael Wu. Tadeusz Wlubewski. Sharon Yu. Bruce Zhang. Zhu Zhang. And Sally Joe.
While the students get their final pictures done, we have a short slideshow before we proceed to the oath. So I'd like to present a slideshow from the Class of 2026 orientation program.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air. what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
It is tradition at SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University to present the Oath for Teachers and Learners at SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University, which is located on the back of your program. It is my great pleasure to once again introduce the 17th President of Downstate Health Sciences University, Dr. Wayne J. Riley.
Class of 2026, again, congratulations. On a personal note, I want to say that we are eternally grateful that you chose SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University to pursue your career in medicine. Now, as president, these words are spoken from the heart. And sometimes we don't say it enough to each other. But students, if there was no you, there would be no us. Thank you sincerely for bringing your special brand of joy, your unique and diverse experiences and backgrounds, and your excitement for the humanistic practice of medicine to Downstate. Now, as part of your orientation program, your faculty have asked you to talk about the social contract that those in the medical profession have with our patients and with society. It's hard to believe, soon-to-be graduates. In 4 years, when you graduate, see, I'm rushing you guys ahead. When you graduate from SUNY Downstate, you will be granted your MD degree. And at that point, you get to recite the time-honored Hippocratic Oath. The Hippocratic Oath is a reflection of the professional values and behaviors that physicians commit to as part of that social contract. Now, today, class of 2026, we ask our new students to join our faculty in reciting an oath meant to be an explicit commitment to the ideals that we promise to uphold as part of that social contract to each other as faculty and as students, and more importantly, as members of this great community. While professionalism requires more than a vow to just good intentions, these vows define our responsibilities and obligations as future members of the medical profession and as SUNY Downstate medical students. So would all the members of the faculty present today please stand, our great faculty. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, members of the class of 2026, will you rise? I ask that you read the oath printed on the back of your program, which appears on the screen also behind me, following the prompts. So when it says students, the students will read along with me. And when it says faculty, I ask my colleagues to read along with me as well. We pledge to serve our patients, their families, our community, and each other with respect, integrity, competence, compassion, humility, and humanity. We hold as our ideal the care and treatment of our patients. From them we will learn. We hold as our ideal the advancement of knowledge. Through it, disease will be understood, prevented, and cured. We hold as our ideal open-minded collaboration. To this, we are collectively committed. We hold as the ideal critical self-evaluation through which we will grow. We, your faculty, promise to serve as worthy role models as our own teachers have before us. We, your students, recognize the expertise and commitment of those whom we learn. We promise to support your personal and professional growth in the clinic, in the laboratory, in the community, and in your own teaching. We promise to pursue responsibly in our calling to patient care, to service, and to research. We promise to maintain an environment where scientific integrity and ethical standards sustain your trust in us. We commit ourselves to the highest standards of academic honesty, scientific integrity, and ethical practice as both students and in our professional lives. We honor and embrace the SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University College of Medicine history and commitment to service. People of borough or Brooklyn, the city of New York, our nation, and the global community. We support its rich tradition of teaching and research excellence. We accept the challenges and the opportunities of those alumni whom we follow. We humbly commit to serve humanity, caring for the sick, promoting good health, and alleviating pain and suffering. We will not permit considerations of race, religion, political affiliation, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, nationality, or social standing to influence our care. We solemnly pledge our commitment to this oath and our assistance to others who pledge the same. Congratulations, class of 2026.
You can sit. This concludes our 27th annual White Coat Ceremony. Will the members of the audience please remain in their seats while the class of 2026 exits first, followed by the audience. Congratulations again.